to talk about. So basically, what happened was I work at this mall, and I work in like this arcade area. It's a really small shop, and this dude comes in one day. He already seems kind of odd, maybe like he's drunk or something, but wasn't like completely obvious. But he comes in and he just kind of starts staring at me kind of weirdly, but it was okay, and we just started a conversation, and he seemed pretty cool for at least a little bit, but he was still kind of like had this kind of weird vibe going for him. So basically what happened was he kind of just kept staring, and then he like at one point he just paid and we got into conversation. We just talked about random stuff, and he seemed like a pretty cool guy. But then what happened was he kind of started staring more, if that makes sense. And it just got really uncomfortable because I was like keeping my mouth shut. Excuse me. I was keeping my mouth shut, and he kind of just looked at me, and he just kept staring. I was like, okay, well, that's kind of creepy. And then he kind of nodded towards, like, kind of got closer and was like, you're cute. Like, the fuck? In my mind, but I'm just like, in reality, I just kept quiet because I didn't want to, like, upset him since he was a customer. He was a paying customer. I was trying to be nice. And at one point, he kind of went, you're pretty. This is where, like, all my red flags were going off. And I just look around my area. Just like, oh, yeah. And I had, like, a Monster. Like, one of those energy drinks. And I was like, could I spill it on him if he tries anything type thing? And I just keep looking at my surroundings. And at one point, whenever security guards, since I work at a mall, security guards, mall cops would pass by, and the dude would just stare at him before he looked back at me. And then he just kept being really, really creepy. And at one point, he was like, you're precious. I was like, okay. Okay, dude. Yeah. Okay. Like, the fuck. My internal panic was pretty bad, but granted, it was not. It was more like just red flags were kind of popping up. And granted, I'm kind of used to staring because I wear a pretty long coat, and people get scared by that, which is okay. Like, I get that to a certain extent. I just wear it because I like it, but I'm getting off topic, but that's why I'm used to being kind of stared at. So it wasn't too new to me for someone to, like, just completely stare. But this guy was, like, he didn't take his gaze off me. Like, it was just one rock solid, hard, eyes the size of needles type stare. Sorry. It's in the morning, so my mouth is like really dry. And I've been sick, so excuse my coughing. But no, this dude just kind of stares at me. I'm like, I'm like, am I going to get, like, raped or something? Is this going to be sexual assault here? And luckily that didn't happen, but he kept asking me, like, are you uncomfortable? I was like, no, because it was, like I mentioned, I was in a work setting, I was an employee, I was trying to be respectful to the customer. But this dude just keeps staring, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, nice talk. He's like, yeah. And he goes, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my god. And then he goes, he keeps asking me, am I making you uncomfortable? Or what are you thinking? I'm like, I'm not going to tell you that. Because I'm obviously working. I don't want to, upset the customer because I'm working. And this dude just keeps standing there and staring. And I'm like, well, this is really disturbing. And keep in mind, this lasts for about an hour and a half. And this dude just, he's like, keeps saying I'm like complimenting me, but like in the flirty kind of compliment way. And it was just weird. Like I couldn't handle that. So what I did was I was like, yeah, but I got homework, so I'm gonna close a little bit earlier tonight. Which was actually true. I didn't lie to him. I actually did have homework, but it creeped me. It creeped me out, especially because he'd look at the security officer and be like, I'm like, well, that's not okay. And yeah, I mean, that's really about what happened. I didn't get raped. That's a first. Oh, that's a first. See, I'm going to keep this. I'm probably going to edit out this video, but kind of want to keep it unedited for the most part because college sucks. And it's really hard to edit videos, like especially when finals are coming up here. So I might just upload this video kind of raw, or my next couple videos a little bit raw, just because, like I mentioned, finals. Other than that, no, basically what happened was he just left, and I was like, okay, cool. No more dealing with that. And man, but it just like, I knew something creepy was going to happen because I work alone, too. So I should start off by saying that, but I work alone. So there's no other employees and there is nobody else in the room. So it makes it 10 times more creepy. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the story. If you ever encounter a creepy guy like that, tell him to stop. Like, really? Don't just kind of sit there and do nothing if it's creeping you out. Either tell him to stop or do something. Do something, tell someone, whatever. But don't like, just let it go. Alright. Sorry about the voice and the cough. I've been sick lately. But this is my first video on this next new channel. My other channel I'll probably link in the description. Basically, I do more analytics and stuff like that, even though I haven't uploaded in forever. Just pretty much, I mean, it's my fault. But yeah, I'm going to try and keep this video a little bit raw so it doesn't jack up with my other schedules. Alright. I will see you guys later, and don't die.